Okay, so now we have our public parameters that the user is going to change, our private variables that only us are going to use in our main logic, and I have to explain the meat of the bot, the most important part of it, that are these methods that we need to override. It doesn't matter the override thing. What is important is that each one of these methods is something called a listener. If you know a little bit of JavaScript, you may have heard about it. Is a listener is a method that is activated automatically by something. Okay, that something may be whatever thing. In this case, we have three evil listeners, and we're going to use two more. On start is activated when when you push play to the bot. Let's say we have the Rasmussen Martingale bot, and we want to use that on here on the euro dollar, and I push play. Okay, so there the first thing that is going to run is the on start. Okay, that's the first thing is going to happen. And if I'm here on the Martingale bot, and okay, it's running, and I push stop, of course, logically, what is going to be run is this on stop method. Okay, they are always listening to that button, the play button or start button and stop button. Okay, it's easy to understand. And this other one is very important, is the onTick method. Is going to be automatically be activated when a new tick, that means a new price, comes to the platform. Okay, we have the servers of our broker there sending new data when the price changes, and when that new piece of data arrives to our platform, that is a new tick, then this method is called. Okay, so this is called sometimes 5 or 6 times per second. So this can process a lot of data. Okay, and we have two more even listeners that are very important, that are the on bar. Okay, that's the other one, very important, and the protected override it void because it doesn't return anything on timer. This is more, not everyone use this on timer. It's less used, but this is precisely the method that we're going to use in this acceleration bot. But let me first explain on board. It's easy. If on tick gets activated each time a new price comes, well, on bar is activated each time a new bar or a bar closes. Okay, so if I have here my charts, let's zoom in here. Okay, this is my bar being drawn in this moment. Of course, this is an hour bar. Let's put a 1 minute bar. Okay, this is being drawn. At the moment that that minute ends, 36 seconds to that minute to end, a new bar is going to start be drawing. Okay, be drawn. So in that moment, when this bar is completed, and a new bar starts to be drawn in the chart, that's the precise moment when the onBar method is called. Okay, you can see in the, let me see here, the martingale bot, that we have some things that occur on start, some things that occur on bar, and some things that occur on tick. Okay, and we don't have, we have on stop, but we don't have the on time. In this case of this bot, we're not going to use on tick, and we're not going to use on bar. We are just going to use on timer. What's on timer? Well, you wanted to debug, to be activated or to be evaluated at the market each 10 seconds or 15 seconds or 15 seconds or 30 seconds. CBOT by default, the on bar can be activated each 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours. But you wanted the things to go faster. And the ticks comes, you don't know when a new tick is going to come. Maybe they can come in, 6 ticks in a second, but maybe, especially in the night, maybe they will be, I don't know, 1 tick each 30 seconds or 1 minute, or we don't know. So we need something in between, something that we can call each 10 seconds or each 30 seconds or whatever, and that's on timer. Okay, and how do we configure on timer? Well, to on start, when the bot is initialized, we need to call an object called timer and a function of that object called start. So timer start, and we put the seconds we want, 15 seconds or whatever. Okay, this means that each 15 seconds this on timer will be called. Okay, but of course this is a variable we want to configure, and we have this evaluation time here, so I am copying here, pasting here, and there we have our timer set it to what the user is going to write in. Okay, if you want 30 seconds or 50 seconds or whatever. So that's how on timer works, and how on start, on stop, on tick, and on bar works. And using that and understanding that, you can do almost everything. I would say that knowing that and knowing that the position object, and another object called market series. Let's here. Okay, and this market series tells you the close, high, low, open of the chart of that symbol. So having the data of that symbol, and it's just not the last data of the last bar. You can have the bar of 15 bars ago or 100 bars ago. Having that and executing orders and having the position object and knowing how to use on start, on stop, on timer, on tick, you have everything you need to make whichever bot you want. Okay, it's just a thing to play around and try to think logically. And for a developer as you, it's easier to, it's not it's not easy, but it's easier to to make things that are in your head to code that. So I think this is the more important part of it, to know how to do it. In the next video, in the next part, I'm going to start develop the bot. Okay, start to the on start part is done, so we're going to develop the on timer part. Okay.